Welcome to the Get Back, music talk in Central Texas, Fridays at 1 p.m. Brought to you by the Austin Federation of Musicians and with the Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee. The Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee are members of the Austin Federation of Musicians, Local 433 of the American Federation of Musicians, aka the Musicians Union. Some of us work as contractor 1099 workers, and others work as employee W-2 workers in various aspects of the music industry.
The goal of this session is to share our experiences, including trials and tribulations related to the Texas Workforce Commission, or TWC, with other musicians in the state of Texas to aid in navigating the TWC application process. We are not experts in unemployment assistance. We are musicians.
The information contained herein does not constitute either legal advice or an official pronouncement or a position of the Austin Federation of Musicians, but rather is only the personal opinions of the panelists. The panelists do not give legal advice or make official rulings on agency matters, should not be cited as authorities in any matter before the agency or when dealing with agency staff about a case, and must minimize their involvement with administrative processes. They also do not and any information they should give should not be used as a basis for taking any employment-related action. Before taking any employment action that could adversely affect an employee, or before using any sample form or policy you may obtain from this group, you should consult a licensed private sector employment law attorney of your choice. All right, welcome to the Get Back for March 11th, 2022. I'm Aaron, and the other members of the committee picked up some work, which we love to hear right now. So, yeah, it's a Friday, but sometimes daytime work comes up, and that's good. So, we'll probably have a short session today, and that's all right. We're going to be off next week for spring break, and the South by Southwest festival, the big festival here, is in town, so we'll probably take the week off next week and then come back in 2 weeks. So we always start by talking about the links down in the show description. If you're watching this live, there'll just be the links to our local union website and some of the other COVID recovery resources that we've been talking about. If you're watching the archived version of this, though, there'll be links to the articles that we've discussed today, but those aren't there yet if you're watching live. So, but they will get there eventually. So, we always continue on with beverages. I'm doing coffee as usual. Oh yeah, there's Bernie there. And it is important to stay hydrated. So, yeah. All right. Well, just a few things to run down here. The Postal Service Act did pass in the United States Congress this week. Went through both the House and Senate, and I think it's going to be signed maybe today by the President. That fixes a lot of the problems with the Postal Service, particularly the mandate to pre-fund all of their pension stuff by like 75 years or something. That's been tanking the budget for the Postal Service for years now. That finally is fixed with this new bill. There's also several other things. If you've been having trouble with the post office, I think everybody has. A lot of times, even in this world of email, that's the most secure way to send things, if it, particularly if it has social numbers and things on it, social security numbers, other identifying information that you don't want to email. There are also, of course, encrypted email services and things like that, but they cost money. And a lot of times the most economic way for us to do it, especially as independent musicians, is just to mail a paper contract or other document, things like that. And some of the entities that we do business with require that for that reason. It's the same reason that fax machines held on for so long and still actually exist in places, because the fax signal is encrypted and can't be intercepted. So anyway, hopefully we can look forward to a little bit faster postal times. Of course, our checks sometimes come in the post office. You hear that all the time. The checks in the mail. You almost dread hearing that. Maybe that's a trigger. Should we have a trigger warning on that? Maybe. But hopefully that's going to speed up now after this bill goes into effect. But there may be more adjustments. I don't know. We'll have to see. But progress, at least at the national level, it does affect our business in music. So let's turn on some kind of sad news last night. Bobby Nelson, the pianist on a lot of the Willie Nelson stuff, died last night at the age of 91. It's one of our local union sisters here at Local 433 in Austin, and our condolences go out to the family. Very sad to hear that. I personally was just on the phone with her a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, really devastating news. Yeah, I'm sure I haven't seen any announcements about services yet. That's bound to be a very crowded affair. But she was well loved and did a lot of great work here in our local here. So anyway, we'll have the Statesman article about that in the show notes. Our Facebook page posted the Austin 360 article last night, and I think the post from the actual Willie Nelson Facebook page, and so you can find that there. But yeah, condolences, and our hearts go out to the family there. Let's keep going here. Let's see. There's been a lot of talk, and I think there is even a petition going around about the Austin Independent School District redesigning elementary music and arts classes to give more time to the PE classes, and the net result is to give the teachers more prep time, which is, of course, is a good idea. But the effect is that it looks like it's diminishing the music and art classes in elementary schools, which is a disaster because those have already been reduced in the last few decades, and we really don't want to see that, of course. So we definitely have the article from the Statesman. I'll see if I can find the petition. If that's still going around, but look out for that if you're in the Austin area, of course. Of course, our local jurisdiction extends to the 11 counties around Austin and Travis County, so that may not affect everyone in the local, but it's a big part of what goes on in our local. So let's see. It's worth mentioning. The time change happens on Sunday this weekend. What is it? Spring forward. So you move the clocks forward an hour. And that's really important if you have a Sunday morning gig, if you have a church gig or otherwise, a brunch gig, whatever you're doing on Sunday. Be aware of that time change because you don't want to miss work. That's no good at all. So that's something there is an article in Statesman sort of about what's the point of daylight savings time. So that's always interesting to read about. But the main thing for us business wise, of course, is don't miss it. Because you don't want to show up late or early or miss sleep or whatever else is going on. And of course, the big festival is in town this week. As I said earlier, we're going to take next week off. And yeah, just gosh, I mean, it's just such a pig pile. Get it on paper, get it on a union contract. Don't take any wooden nickels, everybody, this week. And I guess that's all I'll say about that. So. If you're in the music business, don't give up. We can get through this with solidarity, sharing information. We can do our business better by using union contracts and working together to move everything forward. And that includes everything in the music business, every aspect. Whether you're playing in an orchestra, if you're in a punk rock band, if you're playing a Broadway show, if you're doing soundtrack work, if you're recording, if you're anything that you're doing in music, there's a union contract for that will protect that work and make sure you get residuals on that if it continues to make money beyond what you originally intended, which happens all the time, and no one knows which pieces of music that will happen to. There are people that get paid to try to figure out, okay, which of these pieces of music are gonna be hits, and even those people they're right less than 1% of the time. No one really knows, and that's been true throughout the history of recording music, certainly, but also with published music. So, on paper with sheet music and things like that. So it goes back even farther. So, get it on a union contract, as they say in Nashville. Put it on the card, meaning your union card. Get it on a union contract, and that's the way to do it. So, we will see you in 2 weeks, and keep on swinging out there.
Thank you.